At Wiz, we pump out a lot of content, and the SEO team at Wiz owns that whole content workflow. And I think anyone who's owned content and works in it, like there's two key challenges. One, it can be like the volume of content, which means the volume of outline reviews and then draft reviews, which for me, any given week, maybe 12 to 15 outline and drafts need to be reviewed by myself. The second major challenge with content is like the subject matter expertise. There's two levels of output. One is like, what are the recommendations that need to be like fixed or improved? And the second output, which I still need to work on, is then based off those recommendations, give me specific copy updates that then I could use to either suggest to the writer or make edits myself.
Like ballpark per outline, like how many hours do you reckon this will save?
It was like 2 hours basically just to create like the brief and go through the process of also like doing the multiple levels of reviews, really condensing that and taking 2 hours maybe per topic, per article, and making that like 5 minutes. Can't beat that.
First of all, I created an entity check to make sure, is this the right entity? So it tells me, yes, it's an entity, it has a knowledge panel. So because I'm looking for top stories, I don't want to generate an article that does not have a top story, for example. So, okay. And then I have a full content, research with everything. What are the things that people are looking for on the SERP? What are the things that in social media? And based on everything that you have seen, give me the list and rank them so that, the editor can say, okay, this is a great idea, but does it have topic, interest? So is there audience interest? And, gives me, with rankings.
So I had two ideas for workflows, and they're both related to sales enablement. And the first one is the one that I worked on. So it's generating a list of discovery questions based on the client's website or the prospect's website and two competitor sites. And then the first step is analyzing the prospect site, 2 steps to analyze the 2 competitor websites, generate a SWOT analysis based off of that. So it's just looking at SEO, but this is an example of the result. So you have the key SEO issues at the top, UX accessibility, insights, the content analysis, competitive positioning. And the idea here is that this would help with scalability. So you wouldn't have to have an expert per se go and analyze the prospect's website. Anyone could do it, and you could do it more quickly just running it through the workflow.
So what I'm getting this workflow to help me with is, evaluating, okay, so here's all the pieces of content that we have. And then it kind of starts to evaluate based on your target keywords, based on where we're ranking, based on what type of content we have, figuring out, where our needs are in terms of creating content. So in a perfect world, it would output, I could get it in the CSV so that like title, content pillar, content type would all be their own columns. And then that way we could add it into our content catalog that will already exist in sort of our process.
How many hours do you reckon this will save per run?
Just looking down our pipeline of what we need to do as an agency over the next couple weeks, yeah, I would say 5, maybe.
So I have the topic research, checking trending topics. If it can access the trend, there's a fallback in there. Then initial search for the topic of interest. It gathers all the information that we have. And for this one, it will give me a list of initial topics and take a look at getting the sentiment of these topics, the engagement level, key points about them, etc. And it will give me the topic, the rank, how relevant it is, engagement level, sentiment, key insights about it, search volume trend, is it increasing, decreasing, and recommendation on how to approach the topic. I'm gonna have a human step to select the topic.
On our site, there's about like 250 products in addition to like the custom lawn plan products. So give or take, that's like 300. And then you go to our retail and there's about, give or take, like 200 more of those. So altogether, it's about 500 products. The sole person who is writing these PDPs is me. The biggest need for me is just to be able to optimize these for SEO, make sure that they're correct from like product accuracy standpoint. I built a workflow that optimizes just existing products. So I feel like this is like can generate so much for us, not just for the PDPs, but for campaigns, for blogs, for organic content. I was just like blown away by this power step. I've never tested this out before, so I just like everything about it, everything from like the way you construct your titles to content structure analysis. This is just like a gold mine for me. But really, really happy with this, and I feel like this will just save me so much time, so much research, just countless hours.